Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. For some reason, the Doors song is on my mind this morning. Break on through to the other side. He's taking us there. He's taking us to the country of bad winds and bad marriages, but for a very good reason. Let's give him a nice big round of applause. Hola, bon dia, alegria.
Bom dia, Carol. Yeah, nem de Espanha, nem bom ventos, nem bons casamentos.
Any truth in that, Tony?
No. You know what? Spanish invasion is encouraged now in Portugal.
Well, I hear you're a one-man invasion the other way, aren't you? You have some lunch here and then pop over for some lunch on the other side, or is it the other way around?
I can have breakfast in Spain and lunch in Portugal because they're 1 hour ahead.
That's cool. That's cool. And how are you this morning? Before we go there, we are going there this morning. How's it going? Nice and warm up there in the north.
Yeah, kind of want to bring back those moist and wet days that I miss in the wintertime. It's warm.
You're known for your moist Mino, absolutely,
but
right?
Can you imagine how hotter it is down south and even in the central parts of Portugal? Here we're blessed. We have a nice Atlantic breeze. We're okay. It's not so bad. But in southern parts, I mean, when you're talking close to 40 degrees, 40 plus, I can't imagine that's like sticking your head in the oven and let you bake for a bit.
You can't do anything. I don't suppose. People, farmers get up early, do their work, and you've got to take it easy at the height of the temperatures. 46, I think, was the highest recorded temperature. New record just recently in the Alentejo.
Yeah, Nevero or Beja or something.
Yeah.
Or actually, to be exact, Mora, the city. But it's really something. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're used to that the way of life there. They got to get up early in the morning and do their thing. Even here, we get up early in the morning and do our thing.
Well, clearly, here you are. You're up and ready, and you've brought us a beautiful property on the other side of the border. Before we go there, how are things going generally? Vietnam, I saw you invited me to.
Oh yeah, Vietnam. Another trip planned for February of next year. Wow. We don't stop. We gotta keep promoting Portugal. That's what we're doing, and the Asian market is a great market too.
Very interesting. Are there any Portuguese tentacles in Vietnam from the historical colonial times?
There is actually, and from Macau, from those remnants, I was there, and I actually met a lot of Portuguese people there. They were there on vacation, holiday. But there's a lot of visitors there. Vietnam is one of those countries. You'll hear more about it. Discovering people. It's a very photogenic country too, so beautiful to take pictures.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're looking forward to it and flying the Portuguese flag over there. And maybe you'll have a Spanish flag in your back pocket as well. Why, Tony? Why? Why are you taking us over the border this morning?
Well, because it's so close. I mean, if you see behind the image here that I have, right, you have Portugal on one side and Spain on the other. That's the Minho River. And this area, there's a very micro economy. Portuguese go to Spain, Spanish come to Portugal for a variety of reasons, invest here. It's so close. I mean, it's if you wouldn't know if you close your eyes and unless and your ears, because the Spanish language is a little bit different. Or not Spanish language. Spanish is not a language. Spain is a country. The language of Galicia. We're talking about Galicia, okay, in this northernmost part of Spain, and it just borders the Minho region. And there's so many similarities. It's unbelievable. The terms of weather, in terms of food. Even some things are similar. Wine. They may also make the Alvarinho wine. But this is a beautiful home in Mondariz Balneario, which is not too far from Vigo, and also the coastal city of Bayona. And it's there's an 18-hole golf course there, beautifully done up, inside and outside. With
you are turning some heads here. This is a beautiful place, isn't it? And pretty good value by global standards, right?
Absolutely. First, what can you get? As I say, what does 675,000 euros get you in Spain? And this not only the main house. I mean, this is like you have the range stove. I mean, this is a home that for me, like Country and Living magazine, this would be a home that would be on there. You know what I mean? Like you could see in not only the interiors but the exteriors. The pool house. Pool house is a house in itself. Spacious bedrooms.
You've got a habit of finding such beauty. That dressing gown's made for me. This is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, if this home would have been if this would have been in Portugal, probably maybe a little bit higher. The
Yeah.
market here is just slightly higher. If this home here was for around 725, 750. Yeah, that's the pool house there. Look at the inside also. It's a self-contained
Let's
unit.
go back. Look, yeah, it's a temple at the bottom of the pool, isn't it?
Yeah, brand new structure built, and heated pool as well.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, that's inside the pool house, fully decked out. I mean, it's a beautiful property, and that's the kind of properties we love to list, Carl. Even the exterior gardens, nicely maintained, manicured. This was a home that was built about 60 years ago and completely renovated on the interior, completely.
Amazing. Pop it a little bit more into context for us. Airports, proximities.
Vigo Airport is about 20 minutes away. Porto Airport is about an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes. Okay, so it's close. It's from the border town to Valença do Minho. It is about 25 minutes away, less than 30 minutes. It's not even 30 minutes. Coastal beaches is about another 20 minutes. Vigo, 20 minutes. Like I said, airport, right? And Vigo flies out of Stansted directly. It's a great airport.
Yes, some people have that as a hack, don't they? It can be easy. I mean, it's quite congested in Portuguese airports, and some people actually have that as a bit of a hack now. Pop to Spain, fly back to UK from Spain, and of course you can get to other countries as well. But it's quite good for UK travelers if they live above Lisbon, let's say. So yeah, Vigo is a nice little hack.
There's this area, Mondariz Balneario, is famous for its thermal waters. Okay, and the therapies. They're from the times, so definitely people do go there as an investment, even buying something there, holding it on. Whether somebody living there permanently, it's a beautiful home to live all year round. It's got but even somebody as an investor property renting it out. There's golf courses in that area there, Mondariz Balneario. So it's a resort town. It really is close to the beaches and close to everything. And it's got its own little village where inside the village, there's your coffee shops and restaurants, taperias, the works,
Now, if you want to become a Portuguese resident and live in Spain, is that doable?
Yeah, well, right now, you know what? In Portugal, with the new residency laws coming into effect, Portugal was the quickest way to get citizenship in Portugal, which is after 5 years. It's going to change now. Now it's going to be 10 years.
Yeah. Talk of the town, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, and that's the same thing in Spain. You acquire residency through Spain. It's the same. And living there, and it's going to take you 10 years to become a citizen. So that's not going to change. Portugal is not going to be, that's something of the past. Before was the quickest way. But, residency in Spain and residency in Portugal, they're two different ways. If you're going to apply living in Spain all year round, paying taxes in Spain, going, and you'd have to go through, they have the non-lucrative visa. Okay. One of the things that's very different from there, you have to show income of 28,000 euros a year. Okay. So, that averages out per person. So that might be a lot for a couple. Maybe they're retired. Maybe I'm sure, that they have, 2,000 euros or 3,000 euros from Social Security or dollars rather, when they max out at $2,600, I think it is. So just keep in mind where Portugal has a very lower income, but having Portuguese residency or Spanish residency, either way, you're close to the Minho, you're close to Spain and Portugal. It's pretty much all the same. It really is.
You help people with that aspect of it, Tony?
Yes. Also, not only in Portugal, of course, the relocation services, doing all the visa processes, but also in Spain, the non-lucrative visa is that's the retirement visa. That's what you would call the D7 visa in Portugal. It's called
I didn't know that. So you can advise people based on their personal circumstances. If living in Spain but becoming a resident of Portugal that's a possibility, is it? That it can be configured that way?
Absolutely, absolutely. Here's the truth of the matter is somebody buying a property in Spain can actually do the closing in Portugal. Somebody buying a property in Portugal can actually do the closing in Spain. The notaries have that capability, and we do it all the time.
Right. Okay. Amazing. There you go. 675,000. Beautiful home in Spain. Get in touch with Antonio Barbosa, the man in the Mino, and you can see, Infinite Solutions, BYAB over there on Instagram for more beautiful photography and videography there and fabulous homes. And if I share your website as well, that's infinite-solutions.pt. I can bring that onto the screen. Tell me what else you're up to then, Tony. What exciting things? I'm always seeing pictures of fabulous lunches and dinners. What have you been experiencing recently that you would commend to us here at this community?
Well, definitely when you go, for example, we're talking about Vigo in Spain. One of the best seafoods you're going to have is there from the Galicia region.
Seriously.
Without a doubt, when your lobster rice that I love to have, or your shrimps and your how do you say, the razor clams? Okay,
That's the thing at the moment.
Clam, like all seafood things and for fish and stuff. Vigo is definitely there. So definitely, I've always I love going there when you have those kind of meals. And then of course, getting together with the friends. That's a everyday thing. Having lunch or barbecues or just enjoying a little bit of life. Introducing a lot of new friends that are moved here. Getting them together, doing sort of your I would say community building along other events that help support local associations and stuff. I think that's the key. If you're going to be living in a community, you're going to want to be a part of it, and I think that's the whole premise: getting people together and building that community.
Yes, and culturally, if we could dwell on that for a moment, I've got a feeling that the by being Iberian and having a little bit of Portuguese time, a little bit of Spanish time suits your particular personality, because you're very outgoing and there's a very Spanish side to you, isn't there? But I think a little bit of quiet recovery and reflection and getting your work done back on the Portuguese side. Is that how it works for you?
Yeah, pretty much. The Spanish have a little bit more. I don't know. They're a little. I wouldn't say party, but they live a little. They enjoy a little more. They have that break in the afternoon, the siesta. Okay, then they have after work. They get together. If you go to the coffee shops and bars, not to say that Portugal. They don't do it, but there it is culture to do that,
Yeah.
And so I can go there to have that fun, but then I come back to Portugal to probably get more work done. Spanish may have more fun, but Portuguese get more done.
There you go. There's a new T-shirt or bumper sticker for us this morning, and you can pop across to Spain for your siesta in the afternoon. More community building.
There you go.
Is louder the word you're looking for. I'm definitely aware. The Spanish love to come to Portugal, don't they? And I think it's mutual, isn't it? The top holiday destinations for both countries is vice versa, popping across the border. And I know when I lived in Aveiro that the Spanish love to just drive, just from east to west in a straight line and end up in Aveiro, obviously for people who live in that part of Spain. And when they're in town here in Sao Martinho de Porto, very, very much more self-expressed, I would say, is the phrase I would use when it comes to the Spanish people compared to their Portuguese neighbors. Would you agree with that assessment?
100%.
You can hear them when they're in town.
They're a little more vocal. I think they said, Portugal, we're free, we're here,
Yes.
Yes. Or they're trying to wake us up a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's very interesting as well. But many Portuguese people can speak Spanish, but it doesn't work so well the other way around. I've noticed
they don't even attempt. Carl, forget it. They, you could speak to them in Chinese, and they're going to respond to you back in Spanish. And so,
very interesting.
And Spanish is not. This, right? Spanish is not a language. Spanish is a country. You have 4 different dialects in Spain. You have Galician, Castilian, Basque, and Catalan. Okay. And so when people say, "Oh, I speak Spanish," no, you don't. Tell me where Spanish is a language. Spanish is not. You could speak different languages, and even when you go to Spain and you're in the Basque region or you're in the Catalan region, the Galicians or people from Madrid or Seville or so, they don't even understand that because it's a total different dialect. So
amazing. So Americans coming to Portugal who've got a little bit of Spanish from their time, let's say, close to the Mexican border. Are they going to fare well? Will their Spanish be useful to them?
Absolutely. Okay. Not only because the dialect in the U.S. is mostly Castilian, even South America, it's Castellano. Okay.
Right? Okay.
And so Castellano is pretty much what's spoken as the Spanish spoken outside, the dialect out of Spain. And so somebody speaking knows a little bit of Castilian, they'll get by in Portugal very well. And also in Spain, just they're going to have a hard time as in the Basque region or the Catalan. Even I have a hard time, and I speak Spanish fluently.
Do you? Very interesting.
Yeah,
okay, before you go this morning, thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for being here. You're a ray of sunshine from the hot north. You did mention it briefly, the citizenship thing. Is that affecting things and people's perception of Portugal from your business point of view?
No. It's just, I think you got to have rules and regulations. You can't make it easy for everybody to just become a Portuguese citizen or a European citizen for that matter. People got to live here. You got to learn the culture. You got to respect the culture, not try to change the culture. Learn the language. Get assimilated into the community. That's what Portugal wants. And if you're not one of those people, you're not welcomed here. And I think that's a good thing. So if you're going to be leaving elsewhere, anywhere in the world you're going to be leaving, I always say you should not have a plan B, because that's a sign that plan A is not working. But it's okay if you do have a plan B and you're going to be moving to whatever country that you want to call home, you better damn well respect those cultures and not try to change them. And I remember I say to you all the time, you're Portugal, you're never going to change Portugal, but if you're lucky enough, Portugal will change you, right?
Absolutely.
And I think but I think it's a great thing. It's not going to change at all, because Portugal will still remain golden. Remember when the golden visa? Oh, golden! People sometimes don't even know what that is, really. Listen, you're going to have an opportunity to live in a country that offers you probably more than what you're getting where you are now, and that's the reason people are moving, is because of that, and that's still affordable. Imagine when it's expensive here, Carl, you can imagine how more expensive it'll be elsewhere. So
right. It's all relative. Absolutely. I agree with you. We still enjoy a fabulous quality of life here in Portugal, and good to hear that that's not affecting you too much. And again, it's a relative thing. These are turbulent times in the world generally, and I think we're faring particularly well here in Portugal, and we'll keep checking in with you and seeing what's going with you up there in the north of Portugal, and wish you a bon dia and a happy July as well. We're into July, Tony. Can you believe it? How did that happen? We're halfway through flipping 2025 already.
Done 6 months gone. I'm already making plans for Christmas. I don't know. I'm not getting the Christmas tree up yet, but in a blink of an eye, it's there. That's
absolutely. Boas festas. Bon dia. Cheers, Tony. All right, mate. Take care. Bye.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you